Yes, I'm going here to talk a little bit about how to get the ESP32 Mqtt example to operate on data and transmitting them to the thingspeak, which is a server platform MATLAB owned these days. And if we look on it, it is thingspeak. I'm using it quite a lot here. Have many different channels. Each channel can have up to 8 different data sets. So I make a new channel here, give it a name. It could be test Mqtt. Perhaps I already have that. Anyway, I'll try it out. And then the field, that could be some data. You have to give it, of course, a name. It could be CO2 or temperature, degrees Celsius, whatever. I have the intention just to show one channel here, and the rest you can keep out. Then it will only show one. And you can even link to GitHub, and you can have an external website and location, and you can show video and whatever. Save channel. And then you get this graphical view to transmit using the application protocol Mqtt. We need to go to devices, Mqtt, and then we need to add now our device, and the device was this Mqtt test. Let's see here, pulse cardio sensor. Sorry, I have to go back here to my channels. Mqtt tests, and I think it is on the 3rd page. Yes, test Mqtt. That's the name I must remember. Test Mqtt, Control C, devices, Mqtt, new device. Then I write this name. Then I say add device, but I have to choose. You see here, I have all my. It is this one. Add channel. And add device. Here we can see 3 fields with data: client ID and username and password, and all 3 must be copied to our application running on the ESP. So if we go back here and prepare, then it is in the configuration part here. We need to do something, and we need to add a new attribute which is called user underscore ID equal quotation. And that is actually not right. It is called username. And then we take the username from here, copy, and back to here, and then comma, and above is shown the client ID, so it should come in the same order. So client underscore ID equals quotation. And it was the same as this one, so we can just reuse it. And the last attribute is, we have to use comma, and the last is our password. It's called password equal quotation, and then we get back to this, and then we copy it here, and I go back, and then I hope it is there. That's the most important part of it. Actually, it is to have the ID and username and password, and that is given here. Done. Then we also need to know the channel number, because that has to be a part of our publication string. We transmit or publish data to the broker on the thingspeak, and it has to be used in the part down here, so I just keep it here for having it for a little later. I will now, we need to format a string which the broker on thingspeak can understand, and it is a little bit, if we use it here for our sensor, then we have to get quite a lot of information in here. So we have to say channels, and slash, and then the number, and then we have to add, then we have to have this channels, the channel ID, and then the type we want to do. It is a publish, publish. We have to specify our payload, and for that I will create a little array up here, char payload of 30, perhaps size 30. Then I use sprintf for formatting it into ASCII. Sprintf, and then I want to put it into payload, comma, and here I have to specify the string, and the string should consist of field 1, as it is the first data field I want to send data into. If it is another one there, then I just use another number, %u for unsigned, and I just send a 10 as standard in there, and then I can use the payload down here. Instead of this data, I just write payload, and that's it. Then it should actually get up on the server, 10 being published with an interval of 1 second. You are going, of course, to put in your sensor data into this array. So if I have more data here, I would just continue here writing it as field 2, and there will be an AND between here, so I have to write AND field. I could also try to do it here, field 2, and then equal, and then the format of the number, % unsigned, and then I could write 20 just to, yes. Then I could see if I have got the data published, and that will be done by having this string here, and instead of publish I will subscribe. Subscribe I have to say it is to fields, and then have to specify the field 1, for instance. Yes. And in the task for publishing data, we can take the part from the event handler and use that here, but the definition is of course different, and it is doing it by channels and a channel ID and publish, and the payload has to be defined as a string, and for each data you have to have a specifier here, and in your case you are going to use the sensor variable here, of course, instead of these hard-coded numbers, but else it's the same principle. And after publishing, you can subscribe to it as well. What is quite important here is that the reference for the communication, the client reference, has to be assigned to the global defined one, also called client. We created here in the configuration part for the Mqtt start, and we assign it to the client here, else we can't use it down here, then it is unknown. It will then show that there is no connection, and the reason is that you have not got the global reference assigned to the created one in the function here, which defines the Mqtt main, we can say, communication. And then we can uncomment these publish subscribe things in the event handler. We can still, of course, do a subscription here. If the event is connected, we can subscribe. We could eventually also remove some of the others, but I think at least these errors are very good, and the default one as well to keep. But as you can see here, it is playing, and if we go to the thingspeak, we have the data being published here each second.